All right, testing. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that like button if you like these videos, share them if you like them, comment your questions, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let's go and get into it. Dow Futures are up 244 points off their highs. Nasdaq up 1.38 this morning. Nasdaq up about 1% above 3,700. Russell futures up 1.17%. Crude oil up about 1.5% at 77.85 a barrel. $2.35 for gasoline futures of about 3%. More than likely, that's probably up due to the hurricane coming to the Gulf. It is now a Category 3 hurricane bearing west, heading to the west coast of Florida. So a little bit of a note here. I'm on the east coast, northeast coast of Florida, about about an hour away from Orlando, maybe 45 minutes. So again, I don't expect us to get affected. I'll do the morning notes, no problem, videos, what have you. That's not going to change unless we get some kind of power outage, which I kind of don't expect to get here. Um, the show goes on. Nothing changes. We'll see what happens with the market. We still have a job to do. So again, if the internet is on, we will be on as well. Gold futures 1643 an ounce. That's up about 0.59%. Silver up 1%. 10-year yields kind of starting to bounce here. 3.874 is the current rate on a 10-year. Dollar is pulling back a little bit. Nothing to get too excited about. 113.83. Volatility index up down about 3% at 31.26 this morning. Bitcoin futures are up 20,235 is the level, 1389, almost at 1400 for Ethereum. Euro dollars of about 18 pips, 96.27. Dollar yen 144.75. Let's go ahead and add pound dollar to the list of stocks or the list of securities. Let me see if I can add this here. GBP, USD. There we go. We'll go ahead and move this higher. There we go. Pound dollar 107.72, up about 90 pips this morning. So the dollar pulling back a little bit as he's giving some reprieve to the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the market this morning. We'll go to SPY. A lot of people always ask me about SPY. They prefer SPY over to S&P futures. So again, RSI on a daily. Right now we're at 368, so that gets us right around here. We have a gap to fill right around 373 or so on the daily. Again, you can see the RSI reading right about 27, but the hourly marker will not reflect the pre-market moves. More of the hourly will give us, not the daily, excuse me. So again, pretty much been stuck in a range right around 370 to around what let's call it 362.50. RSI is towards the top end of overbought or getting bought up. In terms of a bottom of some kind, I mean, you're going to get a short-term bottom here of some kind because RSIs are just way too oversold on everything. You could take a look at Qs on the daily. We'll bring up some daily levels. Qs below 30, IWM below 30, ARKK 33. I mean, if you want to talk about big movers in terms of high betas, but we'll go and take a look at Qs. And again, 29, you can see the last time we got below 29, we got to 23 right in January. That was right around this point, around 339. We had a nice bounce all the way to 370. So again, if you're looking to position yourself for a quick little bounce, again, your stop would probably be right around 269 for QQQ. You do have a gap to fill right around 283. If you were looking to play this bounce again, oversold conditions across the board, tons of fear. I mean, just absolute selling off. Again, I'm not saying we're going to get to all-time highs tomorrow, but there is an opportunity here to go long, and I am long this morning. I will be looking to probably see what's around there in regards to shares, maybe Microsoft or so. Again, Microsoft on the daily, you could see oversold conditions. We haven't had that really since January. That was at a 27. We're at a 28 on the daily. It is about $2 this morning. If we bring up a weekly chart, you could see that 200 moving average on Microsoft right around 213 is telling. That's a big level. We'll take a look at Apple just to kind of swing around. You can see the daily here, not an oversold yet, but at least the major averages are. So we go ahead and SPY again. If you want to buy some index here, I buy every Thursday anyway. So again, dollar cost averaging over time. But I'll be looking at some names this morning to see if I could play at least a little bit of a bounce. Probably keep the stop a little tight since it's probably a swing trade on equity. Maybe a TQQ or something like that. I do own some. You could see TQQ here again. 1823 was my level to look at, but now we're at oversold 29 level. Again, haven't seen that since January. Gave us a nice pop from that level around 50 to around 65. That's about a $15 move. If we kind of bring it out a little more to this level, maybe 21 to around 34, if that's not bad. If you're looking at it right now, it's trading at 21.83. But again, I would keep the stop relatively light. 1823 is your stop if that's the case. So you either have one or two things happening relatively soon. We're either going to have a severe crisis recession just based on debt, or the Fed is going to turn around like they always do behind the curve, and they're going to do something to accommodate everybody. Who knows? But again, that's really the issue that we're seeing at our hand here. We just have to stay kind of patient. It is a nice little bounce this morning, but again, all it gets us is the levels from yesterday or the highs of yesterday. On S&P futures, the high of yesterday was 37.29. We're at 37.10. Pretty much stuck in that range here on S&P futures. Nothing to get excited about either. But again, you're going to get some kind of relief rally of some kind. So don't get too excited or, start throwing a celebration when we're getting around 3,800, 3,900. And again, doesn't mean the bottom is in, but again, it just means we get a little bit of a reflex relief rally. Shorts kind of take the profits and move on. We still have seasonality coming up with October. So again, we have more Fed speakers. We have core PCE on Friday. We got unemployment claims. We just had some news this morning on home values. Home price index fell today, or fell, the reading, negative 0.6%. So again, you're getting some kind of movement here. I can't say bottoming because we don't know when the bottom is. Again, the bottom could be that 3560 level, which is that 200 moving average on the weekly. That's fine if that's the case. But again, don't be surprised we get that little reflex rally. Yesterday was pretty much chop. I mean, you didn't get much. You got, that top here around 37.33, got back to 36.60. Really, your support is 36.39. That is the June lows on S&P futures. Keep in mind, S&P futures run 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, unlike SPY. So again, we're not going to test bottoms. We're not going to go all the way to the low just to test it. More than likely, you're going to break it. But again, a reflex rally is probably more than likely in the cards. Really, the level that'll probably confirm at least some kind of relief rally, 37.40 would get us on that next floor up. 37.40 to around 38.44, another 100-point move. Maybe 38.89 if that's the case, but we need some good news. We need something where the Fed is saying that, hey, we could be accommodative somewhat. If they stick to that ratcheting down approach of just raise, we don't care, inflation is everything, the whole Volcker thing, then yes, you're going to go ahead and 36.39 is your line. If that does break, you're going to get to around 3,500 level. That's just a fact. That's where we are. So holding on to the teeth of our, the skin of our teeth here at 36.39. I mean, is there much edge here? I mean, obviously you have a little more upside room than downside room, but the stop needs to be at 36.39. That is the June lows. If you remember, I remember 3,900. I shorted at that level with that break. Didn't work. We got a nice little relief bounce. They happen out of nowhere, especially in bear markets. Bear market rallies can be tough for those who are navigating the market. Investors get excited. Bears throw in the towel. I mean, it's just back and forth. So at this juncture here, 37.40 would confirm at least some kind of relief rally. Right now, we're just getting back to levels not seen since yesterday. Not exactly going to throw a parade here. So again, 37.40 for upside on S&P futures, 36.39 for downside. If we go and bring up SPY itself, you could see 362.79 being the support, and there's a gap to fill at 373. If we can get above 370, maybe the 375 calls wouldn't be a bad idea. Get some Friday expiries. We will see. Again, just playing the gap fill. That's all I want to play on SPY. That's pretty much the setup that I like the most. But again, I want to get above 370, play the 375s for Friday. I'll put 370.17. Again, we're just looking for a $5 move. We're just trying to squeeze something quick, especially with all the landmines out there. And we'll see what we can get. What are your thoughts on oil calls into the winter? Would be a good play. Let's go and take a look at oil, crude oil. Crude oil has a crucial support at 74.80. If you want to play that bounce, fine. I would say wait for 85. We need to get out of this right here. If you get at above 85, that's about $6 more. Then yes, I still have CVX. I have not added more, but I should. But there is a support level right around 135. I think that'll be a decent level to go by. But for crude oil, I'm not against crude oil at all because the energy stocks have performed better than crude oil, the commodity itself. But I think above 85 on crude would probably be the best place to add. Because if not, if we break below 75, 65 is next. And that's a level we haven't seen since December of 2021. That gas prices would go lower. PLTR, they just won a contract from the government, the Pentagon. We'll look at the daily again, 644 being that support on the daily. Taking a look at the hourly, again, it's a stock I own as well. Nothing really breaking out here. The only thing is that if you do get a relief rally, the high betas like a Palantir, like a Shopify are going to run more. And just like the downside, once we get a really ugly day, they're going to run to the downside even further. That's just high beta stocks for you. So again, if you think these high growth beta names are going to bounce this week or some kind on the reflex rally, I think there's better moves out there than Palantir. Our team was talking about Shopify over the weekend. Again, there's the 100-day moving average at 30.07. Not a lot of edge here on the hourly. If you take a look at the daily, again, not much. But again, you can look at ARKK. Also has good volume on options once in a while. You got 39 right here as the 100-day. I would say you need to break that before you do anything. Again, we are just opening up in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I can't say there's a ton of setups that look great. Other than SPY, that's the only one I see currently. We need yields to come down. Yields, again, 3.852. We need the dollar to come down a little bit. That's going to lead the way. The only way we're going to know we're in a bottom or the markets are going to continue to move higher and get out of this funk, guys, it's the 2-year yield. The 2-year yield has to fall. The 2-year yield will give us the hint once interest rates are going to be kind of stable, where we're not just going straight to the moon, and then we could start seeing a bottom in equities. But the 2-year treasury, guys, that is key. That's our bond proxy. That's what we're going to look at. I don't know what the 2-year yield chart is on TD, but I do have it on Bloomberg. If anything, I'll keep you guys up to date on Twitter on that. I just didn't log into the terminal because I have it on my phone. So much easier to copy and paste and to put screenshots for the market blog when we do information and everything. When are we looking to add more AMD? At 58, let's see it. The 58 was the question, not the actual level, I think. We're at 67. Let's go and bring up the daily. Daily is very, very ugly. You have a downward channel here to around 58. So good call. Let's go ahead and 3-week it. Right here is my level. That's right around 62. That'll get us to a level not seen really since July of 2020. Wow. So again, AMD starting to get interesting. Let's see where NVIDIA is. And we have Micron earnings coming up soon. So 120.66 on NVIDIA. Can we get it so I can add some more? Possibly. I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe we get one more little flush. Maybe test those lows. And then I can buy some here. Now, again, a $4 move isn't exactly something that I'm going to be going crazy about either. Let's see what NVIDIA does. But that 200, look at that, 200 broken on the weekly. Maybe we bounce above it. Let's see. I like NVIDIA long term anyways. But remember, we talked about that NVIDIA Cisco kind of comparison proxy from 2000. Could be more weakness to come on NVIDIA, sure. If you're talking about big levels, I mean, 73 on NVIDIA, my goodness. I have NVIDIA stock, and my original or my adjusted price based on my buys is right around 110. So I'm almost break even on the stock. Imagine 110 to 346. That's a big round trip. But I like it at 120.66. AMD, I'll like it at 62.70 if that's the case. Do you still have a price target to sell Palantir? No, I want to own Palantir. I really think Palantir long term is going to be something. At the end of the day, it's a stock that I want to own long term. Defense spending, AI, that's where I want to be in long term. As kind of the battlefield and the Pentagon is probably going to switch to more digital. Palantir also protects Pentagon files, I believe, and all that stuff. So again, it's a cyber company. You could kind of think of CrowdStrike being very similar, but Palantir has these defense contracts. to me, is something that's going to last a while. I mean, look at defense companies; they ain't going anywhere either. Good morning, by the way, John. Where do you see lumber prices going from here? I actually just saw that message from Wall Street Journal, and I didn't share it. Let me go ahead and get that. Let me see if I can bring it up. Here we go. Did I share that? Yeah, I did share that this morning. Lumber has led the way down for commodities. When do I think we're going to go back up on lumber? I don't see that anytime soon. I don't know what the futures is for lumber. Let me see if I can find it. It's a forward slash lumber. Lumber, no, I have to look it up on futures. Lumber futures. Let's see it. Lumber futures ticker. Let's find it. So it's LS, Los Santos. It doesn't work. I mean, I try to look for it here on TD and it doesn't work. So my apologies on that. I don't have a chart on lumber. I'd have to bring it up on Bloomberg. But again, lumber is really based on demand. And if we're seeing housing falling, lumber demand's not going to be in there. So again, I expect lumber to continue to fall as we start tightening the market. Do you plan to add high betas in this bear or good old companies? High betas, Palantir is a name I do want to own, just not in my levels. How about Alibaba? Again, talk about a lotto ticket if you think that we're going to bounce. Sure. I think I'm going to skip Alibaba here. But again, some high betas, sure. Palantir would be the big one that I want to add, especially. I think Shopify is great long term. I may want to nibble on that. I mean, $28 a share. I'll start looking at the numbers with Investment Club and see what's a good value out there. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, everyone's fearful. This is where you scoop it up. 2020 in March, April 2020, everyone was nervous. Everyone was freaking out. End of the world. Those who bought homes, those who bought cars, those who bought stock, they did pretty good. So in the face of death or the abyss is really where the money's made. That's the biggest opportunity. More millionaires are made in bear markets than any other time. So something to think about. What is your take on Marathon Oil? Again, based on just crude oil itself, I think Marathon Oil is just going to fall even more directly with crude oil. If you want to have a name that's going to hold up against crude oil volatility, more likely it's CVX because of the cash they have, the dividend, and the refining that they have. Marathon Oil is a little smaller. Warren Buffett has been buying. I think he's been buying that company, not Marathon Oil. It was another one. What was that oil company that he was buying just loads of? Let's see. I have to look it up. Occidental. He had Oxy. So Oxy, you could see that's down, but near support at 56.12. You could always do Oxy Petroleum. I think Oxy over MRO, just for the simple fact that you have backing of Buffett at least. So that's good news. But I think CVX is the better play, or an XOM instead of a Marathon Oil personally. Do you think SPY consolidates around 360 to 370? Not today. Again, you're going to get a little bit of a relief bounce. Again, nothing to get too excited for, but a break of 370, there's a gap to fill at 375. That's the target I'm looking for. If we fall a little lower, 360, 303 is the target to break support. That's really it. I mean, we consolidated yesterday for the most part, pretty much just range bound. If we break out above 370, 375 calls is what I'm looking for a Friday. But other than that, we could just reject 370 and ping pong away 365 to 370 all day. Who knows? In regards to hurricanes, I had this discussion before. Do stocks during hurricanes, like home improvement, do they make money? And they do. They do. Sometimes there is a way to make money on home building or home improvement companies during hurricane season. Obviously, lumber and all that stuff. So again, we do have a hurricane to worry about that's going straight to Tampa/Clearwater. So I hate to be that kind of scumbag, but what opportunities are out there? Home Depot, I don't see much on the hourly. In terms of lows, same thing. Maybe above 190 on lows gives you a shot to 192. I think that's kind of pushing it. 275 on Home Depot would be nice. You could charge the 280s, maybe. Again, with hurricane season, Home Depot and Lowe's, they always catch bids every time, and then they sell off right after. But opportunity, maybe. So let's keep an eye on Home Depot, especially if we get more bad news in regards to the hurricane getting what do you call this? Getting more strength in the Gulf of Mexico. So again, obviously wishing the best to everyone in Havana, Cuba, and obviously in the west coast of Florida. Please stay prepared. Please stay safe. and we'll see what happens. This isn't my first rodeo being a Floridian. Crazy hurricanes all the time. You just get used to it. All the New York transplants that are from here, they understand more than likely. They survived Sandy, so they know that hurricanes are nothing to be messed with. Shelves, talk about demand. The shelves in Tampa, I was just told, are pretty much bare for the most part. So let's see. Let's see. Oxy. Yep, that's right. Big time they do. They have home improvement clients that are busy. Yep. Yep. Is Square good long term? I like Square, but the problem is that they're very tied to Bitcoin. So again, unless you think Bitcoin is going to soar, that's where Square is going to go. So again, that's a very close proxy. PayPal had a nice note, I believe, yesterday from Canaccord. PayPal will probably be a better buy, but Square is a higher beta. Just depends on what you like. I like both payment processors. I like Visa too. So Visa, PayPal, Square, kind of in the same boat. I would rank Visa ahead of PayPal, PayPal ahead of Square, just because Square has that Bitcoin on their balance sheet, a big amount. Not a huge amount, but obviously a big amount there. That's going to drag their earnings if they continue to fall. But around 20,000 Bitcoin. I mean, remember, guys, back in 2017, that was the 2017 high, was 20,000 on Bitcoin. So even with all the stuff happening, it's still kind of stabilized. We'll see. Almost down to the COVID dip. That's right. Retest across the board. Well, except Apple. Apple's the only one. Stocks with good relative strength right now. The ones I could tell you that have bad relative strength, like semiconductors and cloud companies on NASDAQ. And in terms of the broader market, healthcare is doing great. Staples are too expensive, but financials are taking a hit. So again, financials is something that I will be watching for at least to buy, because at least we know, even with higher rates, they're not gaining. But again, if things turn around in terms of more accommodative policy, when rates remove or be removed from the inversion that we're currently in, banks will bid. Great balance sheets for Goldman, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, all great companies. But at this juncture, do you want to go ahead and rush and buy banks? At least for the yield. Again, when rates are higher, you want cash flow. That's kind of what you want. As dollars become more scarce, that's what we talked about yesterday. Why does high rates kind of slow the market? Again, they're trying to create scarcity of money. So again, there's less speculation and less inflation. But again, you still need to pay the bills, right? Bank of America, JPM, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley all pay a nice dividend. Banks are well run. Again, we're not in a financial crisis that I am aware of in terms of bank. This is not 2008. It's just a good old fashioned bear market. Been there before. If we fall to a recession, we are in a recession. Do banks take the biggest hit? Yes, if it comes to credit quality. Yes, they do. If there is a credit crunch, less liquidity, late payments, a la 2008, yes. If you don't, and it's just a very small protruded, let's say just a regular good old fashioned recession, let's talk 1994, 95 sort of thing, then yeah, banks will hold up over time. But again, the rates being wacky, unless we expect rates to go to 7, 8% on a 2 year or something like that, I think more than likely the worst is done, at least with banks, in my opinion. What I position myself here, again, I think Bank of America isn't bad here, especially with a nice yield. Sure. I own JPM, though, and Goldman Sachs. We'll go and leave it there. We're about 5 minutes away from the bell. Have a great morning. Stay safe, my fellow Floridians. Go Cowboys! Great win yesterday, 2-1. We'll see what happens moving forward with the quarterback controversy. Do you feel the rush, Cooper Rush? Have a great rest of your morning. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, weather permitting. Fingers crossed. Stay safe, all. Let's make it a great day. Cheers, guys.